Hi guys, this is Dios JFX. Welcome to my channel. Today we are going to be discussing about the planes of the leaf. We are going to be breaking down the planes of the leaf into different shapes, and we're going to be seeing how we can simplify the leaf into shapes so that we can easily draw them. So we're going to start off with this first leaf. So as you can see, this first leaf is categorized into different I've categorized it into different shapes, and also it has been categorized into three different um, planes. So as you can see, we have like the upper plane which is categorized into three: one, the center, and the third one. And also the lower lip has been categorized into the first, the second, and the third. So you can easily see that instead of you to mindlessly look at the lip and be wondering how to break it down, why not look at the shapes you could see by easily visualizing the lip? So you can, as you can see, there are shapes on the lip. So instead of you to um, look at the lip this way, I would advise you to look at the lip this way, in such a way that you could see the planes in your head even without drawing it on your reference. But as a beginner, I would advise you to draw the planes of the lip on your reference, just to like simplify it and make it more easier for you to locate your mistakes while you're sketching. So as you can see, the first lip is categorized into three planes, which is the first and the center, the first plane, the center plane, and the third plane, which is the first, 1, 2, 3, and which is also split into two: um, the top lip and the lower lip. So yeah, we're going to see how we can replicate this same um, planes into a full sketch. Let's see how we could replicate these shapes into a lip. So let's try sketching these same planes aside. Let's try sketching it at the side. Then first of all, before I dive into the sketching, I would draw your attention to this side of the lip, this actual side of the lip, which is giving us an angle, a triangle, or let's say a right angle triangle shape. It can also be a triangle shape. It can be a triangle shape if you turn it this way. So yeah, it's going to be giving us more like a triangle shape at this corner of the lip, So when you're drawing, just make sure you visualize those shapes. You can easily visualize those shapes. And also in the middle, which is here, in the middle of the lips, you can see there are some spaces over here, which are these spaces, which can also be represented by angles. So I've done another tutorial on how to sketch lips before, so I'm trying to like give you that understanding on planes, because I haven't done that before. So this is my first time doing a video on planes. So it's very much important to focus on the planes of the planes on the lip and other parts of the body, simplifying it also helps you to like simplify um um simplify the anatomy using shapes. It helps you simplify um simplify the anatomy of the human body using shape. So if you have knowledge of planes, you can play around with the anatomy of the face and the body. You can play around with any sort of anatomy that you want. So you can just use different shapes to like you can use different shapes to like represent whatever part of the body you want to draw. So as you can see, this one too has like two planes. There's a plane at this corner which is slightly visible. As you can see over here, it seems like it's a one, like it's only this side, but it also combines this side also, which is the first plane, and this side also, which is the second plane. And same thing goes to the lower lip. The lower lip also contains two different planes, which is splitted by the middle line, which is here, which is splitted by the middle line. They are always splitted by some such kind of lines. Like this one is splitted by this middle line, which is created through a slight opening of this opening. This opening too can be represented by a shape, any kind of shape you would want. It can be represented using shape. So you can just visualize and see that and see those shapes, and you can easily just replicate them instead of you can just easily replicate them. You can easily replicate them instead of you drawing the lip. As a beginner, you can't, it will be very hard for you to like locate where all these shapes are. But if you are able to like draw the shapes on the reference, then when you draw the shapes on the reference, then you duplicate the layer, then and keep the other reference, which is having 100% opacity at the side. Then you compare the shapes on the leaves. You can start off with drawing the shapes. Okay, let's do this. I'm going to be clearing. Yeah, so let's try and replicate these shapes we have over here, and let's try replicating it. Then we try refining it into a finished art piece. So yeah, let's do this. So we're going to be starting off with the corner which is an angle line, angle shape, sorry. And then we start off with another angle. We start off with another angle. Then we start off with another angle. Your sketch mustn't be that's too perfect. Actually, you can just start up very loosely. It's advisable to start off very loose. So as you can see, I've sketched the angles. So now I'm going to like sketch another angle in between. There's a V shape in between them, more like a V shape, which is the middle corner of the lip. So when you sketch the V shape of the lip, the V shape of the lip which is located at the top. Then you locate this angle. There's a sharp edge at the angle. Then you connect the shape over here. Don't just make sure you just copy what you've seen on your, what you've done, like the angles you've drawn on your reference sketch. Just make sure you replicate the same thing. Then you can later refine. And make sure and make it look good. But for now, I would advise you to just make sure you start up very loose. So after you've gotten that plane, that corner plane, you can still connect. You can connect it. You can connect it. Simply just connect it using a straight line. Just simply connect it using a straight line. Then you go to incoming. Yeah, I think and also you need to like make sure you work on how to visualize and to observe things, and make sure you know where to place them. Just keep on practicing with this kind of techniques, identifying planes on the face, on the lip, and whichever side of the body you want to simplify. So after we've done that for the top lip, which is the first, second, and the third plane, we are going to be doing the second plane, planes which are on the lower lip. So let's go. In between, that's in the middle of our angle. As we can see over here, in the middle over here, there's a line that goes down, and also in the middle here, there's a line that goes down. So we're going to be doing exactly what is over here. So we're going to be doing it. There's a curve. It's not actually a line, it's a curve. So it's trying to like show you some kind of 3D dimension, just to show you how the planes wrap around. So the planes are not like straight, they are not straight planes, they are actually planes that are wrapping around. They are wrapping around, giving it some kind of 3D dimension. So yeah, when you've drawn the planes wrapping around the lip, then you can also go to the corner of the lip, which is the angle, this area of the angle. Then you draw a line over here. Make sure you just cover it up, and we have succeeded in drawing our lip. So don't be actually disturbed if you can't get a perfect lip as I am. It's very advisable to like start up very loose. As you can see, this is not a perfect lip. Obviously, this is just like a lay-in. To like build upon it. We can still refine it if we want. We can still refine this particular lip. We just want to have like a foundation of this lip. So yeah, if you want to refine, as you've already gotten the structure of the lip, you've already gotten the shapes you want on the lip. You can just easily refine using your curves, your curvy lines, and you can refine them. You can just use a separate layer and reduce opacity. Make a separate layer which you will use for your line art, your clean line art. you're going to be refining it and make sure it looks like this. It looks exactly like a lip. So that's what we are trying to do now. Let's try to refine and see if we could get same results as this, or not even same, or let's just say similar result as this. So yeah. So this is the easiest way for you to have the knowledge of structure, just simplifying it into different shapes. As you refine the sketch, you can still leave some kind of 3D, some kind of shapes on it, just to like guide you when you're about to shade, because there are some, like the corner of the lip, it still gives the lip some kind of structure to like make it look more like a 3D object than just a flat line. So yeah, we're almost done with our lip. Although it's not looking that perfect, but I will mostly recommend you to keep on practicing. Keep on practicing. You're going to eventually get a good result. So you just keep on practicing. As you can see, our lip is looking somehow, but yeah, when you come to paint, it's going to like look more like a lip. So yeah, obviously this is our results. So we can go to the next. Let's go to the next. Let's go to the next lip. So this one is like a profile lip, which is just located by the side. So what we're going to be doing is, you're still going to be copying the same shapes, which are these shapes, using these lines, using straight lines. So first, before that, I'm going to be like drawing your attention into this area. As you can see, if I draw a straight line, you can easily see that the top lip is a little bit, like it's a little bit ahead, like it's a little bit in front of the, like this top lip, which is the first. This top lip is ahead, like ahead of the second lip, which is at the back. This I don't know how to put it. This top lip, as you can see, there is not in the same, it's not in the same what will I say, in the same line with the lower lip. So this lower lip is somehow going inside, while the upper lip is going outside. It's more like going outside than the lower lip is going inside. So yeah, we're going to be replicating this same thing. So just make sure your mind gives you that there is a space over here when you're drawing the shapes. So make sure you know that the top lip is somehow going further than the lower lip. So let's go try this technique out. So let's try to start off with a straight line. So we're starting off with a straight line, and then another straight line. Let's replicate the shapes. Let's replicate the shapes. So yeah, we're still replicating the shapes. So yeah, there's the corner of the lip, more like an angle. So yeah, I think that's we're done. We're done. Yeah, I think we're done. We're done with the laying. So as you can see, we have replicated what is over here. So what you're going to be doing is we're going to be refining it using a cleaner line, and we're going to be doing and transforming it into curves, and the real looking more like a lip. So let's just try reducing the thickness. I'll try to see if I can make this work available, the PDF of this particular tutorial available in the description box, so you can go check it out. I'll be dropping the PSD file so that you can check the lanes, which are these shapes. They are called the layings. Then you're going to be checking the refined sketch and see how you can do yours. You can also clean mine up and do yours. You can use it for your practice. The references will be available too, so yeah, you can just play around with the layers and everything. So I think we've gotten our lip. So there's another advice I would like you to I'm going to advising you on this when you're drawing the lip, make sure when you're drawing this side, make sure you still maintain that kind of line width. I've done a video on line width. It's more like a thickness, the thickness and the hardness of your sketch, your line, the thickness and the hardness of your line. So make sure you know where to place your thickness, and make sure you know where to place your lightness. These areas are more expected to be light. These areas are more expected to be lighter. The sketch over here should be lighter. Then your sketch over here should be darker, giving it some kind of depth at the edge. So just make sure you keep that in your mind. So make sure you always know that your line width, the thickness of your line should be at the edge. Most of the thickness of the lines should be at the edge, unless it's having a bounce of light. So assuming there's a light source over here bouncing on the reference, these are mostly comic artists. Mostly they mostly apply this to their sketching, their inking, because they highly based on inking. Their painting process is slightly less more what will I say? They are highly based on inking first. When they have their inking laid out, then the painting won't be a problem. Same thing goes to a normal artist. So when you can apply the principle of light into your line width, if the light is bouncing at the edge, then that means your edge should be lighter by the edge, that area that the light is bouncing at. But when your sketch doesn't have the effect of light, it still remains dark at the edge. So that means your line width still remains dark at the edge. So make sure you keep that in mind. So let's go to the third exercise, then we're done. Go to the third exercise. So make sure you practice a lot. Make sure you practice on this a lot. So this is kind of complicated a little, but I hope we could get over it. So this kind of lip is somehow categorized into, it's somehow categorized into 4 at the top lip, and it's somehow categorized into 2 at the down lip, the bottom lip. So let's see the planes. This is the first plane, the second, the third, the fourth, then the first, the second at the bottom. So these are the planes and the shapes in which is created on the lip. So make sure you visualize these shapes on the lip, and make sure you replicate them into your laying. After getting them down into your laying, after getting those shapes into your laying, you can just simply draw out your lip without stress. So yeah, we're going to be replicating those shapes on the lip. It mustn't be perfect, just play around with the shapes. You can also, it mustn't be similar to mine, you can also use a different lane if you like. You can still use some different shapes in which you think it's far much better for you to use and it's more simple for you to replicate. If you think this is more complex, you can change shapes, and just make sure you have that idea of shapes and replication of shapes into your drawing, your lane. It will be far much more easier for you to maintain that structure on your drawings. So yeah. So yeah, I think we've, we've succeeded in getting the planes on the lip, so we can easily draw it out. Let me shift it a little bit. Yeah, I think, yeah. Shift it a little bit. Then you can still use it. I won't advise you to use liquify tool, but for this tutorial, you guys should pardon me. I'm going to be using liquify tool so as to save time. But when you're practicing, make sure you take your time on this. Make sure you take your time on this to practice a lot. The time you give to this to practice, the more you improve on how to draw all of this. So yeah, give it your time, give it your best, then you're going to be seeing improvement. So I won't advise you to do this tutorial, to watch this tutorial once. You can still you can keep on watching the tutorial and still practicing. Don't practice only once. You can keep on practicing just to keep that consistency and improvement. Make sure you practice a lot. Don't just practice once. You can't just get it once. You make sure you just keep on practicing. That's the only way you can easily learn and improve in a little space of time. So consistency is required. Make sure you keep on doing it. If you don't get it the first time, you could get it the second time. So yeah, just make sure you just keep on being consistent and keep on practicing. That's just the key. Make sure you practice a lot. So let's refine. And if you think the refined sketch is somehow rough, you can still refine your sketch. Just keep on refining if you think it's somehow rough. For this tutorial, I'm going to be pardoning me because I'm going to be using only one refined sketch. If you think it's still lacking some details, you can proceed to like give it more depth and detail. So yeah, that's all for the structure of the lips. I'm still going to be doing the tutorials for how to paint the lip. I'm going to just be doing like more of a crash course of how to paint the lip. So yeah, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, click on the subscribe button and click on the notification bell to get notified in any time I release a new video. So if this video was helpful, you can just let me know in the comment box, and if you have any question, you can let me know. I'm going to be answering every question as soon as possible. As soon as I've seen your question, I'm going to be answering you as soon as possible. So yeah, thanks guys for watching. See you in my next video. Bye.